will die, and most likely, the world will not remember your name. Every photo you post, every story you share, every desperate attempt to be noticed vanishes in 24 hours. Your opinions, your arguments, your noise, it will not survive the flood of tomorrow's distractions. The harsh truth is this: you are drowning in noise and still invisible. And yet, there is a path to immortality. It is not through louder words, but through deadlier silence. The silence that bends people toward you. The silence that controls rooms without sound. The silence that echoes long after death. We live in an age of screaming. Everyone is shouting on platforms, in conversations, in arguments that mean nothing. Noise is everywhere, but noise has become cheap. The more you talk, the less value your words hold. The more you explain yourself, the less powerful you appear. The more you fight to be seen, the more invisible you become. Noise is abundance, and abundance destroys value. Look around. Do you remember the influencer who shouted the loudest last year? Do you remember the endless debaters of yesterday's trend? They are gone, forgotten, buried under new noise. But the ones who remain, the ones etched into memory, are the ones who mastered silence. Why are billionaires silent about their moves? Why do the most powerful leaders rarely post about their plans? Why do the most feared men speak the least? Because mystery is power, and silence is mystery made flesh. Mark Zuckerberg spent years in silence, building empires while others mocked him. Jeff Bezos moved in shadows before his dominance became undeniable. Even Elon Musk, though loud in tweets, keeps his true strategies hidden until they shake the world. This is why silence is feared. Because silence is not absence. Silence is calculation. This is why silence is feared. Because silence is not absence. Silence is calculation. Why do you talk so much? Why do you post every thought? Why do you argue back? Because you want validation. Because you think being heard equals being powerful. But it doesn't. It equals being ordinary. The enemy of greatness is not weakness. It is exposure. The more you expose, the more predictable you become. And predictable men are disposable men. This is why warriors of the past practiced silence. The samurai spoke little. The Stoics wrote for themselves, not the crowd. Even kings kept their true thoughts hidden behind unreadable eyes. They understood a truth you ignore. If they cannot read your silence, they cannot control your soul. Let me tell you about the three faces of silence. Silence is not emptiness. It has forms. And if you master them, you will bend people to your will. 1. The silence of presence. When you enter a room and speak little, people lean in. They want to know what you think. Your silence forces them to chase your attention. The silence of strategy. In arguments, silence is deadlier than words. You do not fight on their battlefield. You let them drown in their noise while you remain untouchable. The silence of legacy. Noise dies with the moment. Silence carries into eternity. What you refuse to reveal today becomes myth tomorrow. This is why saints, sages, and leaders are remembered, not for their noise, but for their quiet force. Let me destroy your illusion. Most of you will die forgotten. Your noise will vanish. Your posts will fade. Your voice will dissolve. Legacy is not built on noise. Legacy is built on weight. And weight comes from silence, from restraint, from the presence that forces people to remember, even when you are not there. Do you know why we still quote Marcus Aurelius? Because he wasn't shouting at crowds. He was whispering to himself in silence. Do you know why Sun Tzu's Art of War still commands armies? Because he wrote silently, while empires collapsed around him. History forgets the loud. History immortalizes the silent. The war of attention. Today, attention is the new currency. Everyone is at war for it, but most fight with noise, and in that chaos, they destroy themselves. But the one who uses silence, the one who withdraws, who does not answer, who does not reveal, stands above the battlefield. He is the mountain, while others are the storm. He is the riddle that no one can solve. He is the ghost that outlives the noise. That is the man who will be remembered. Silence as a weapon. Understand this. Silence in the face of insult shows dominance. Silence in the face of manipulation breaks control. Silence in the face of chaos reveals strength. Silence before the crowd turns you into a myth. Every time you refuse to react, you are training the world to respect your silence. Every time you hold your tongue, you are sharpening your presence like a blade. Noise is reactive. Silence is active. Noise is slavery. Silence is freedom. The final warning. Now listen carefully, because this is the last truth, and it will decide your fate. One day, the world will fall silent after your death. Your voice will stop. Your noise will end. And then there will be only two possibilities. Either your silence will echo in eternity, or it will be swallowed, forgotten, erased. The choice is yours. Be loud and die forgotten, or master silence and live forever.